Hello, lovelies. Welcome to today's video. I am Jenna Dayle. I'm your intuitive tarot reader. And if you're new here, hello, welcome in. My intention in this space is to really focus on you. So whenever I read, I'm always reading for people who are trying to reprioritize themselves in their own life. They're trying to unhook from codependency, reprioritize themselves, and just find more alignment in their joy, in their values, and really focus in on your energy here. So just setting the intention with me. If you're new here, go ahead and hit subscribe if that sounds like the kind of tarot reading you've been missing. Is a tarot reading that focuses on your energy, tapping into what is going on with you, and really unhooking from trying to look at everybody else in a tarot reading. So if you're new around here, that's what I do. And if you are returning back again, hello. Reminder to you that my intuition and tarot mastermind is actually starting up again in July, and I am enrolling until this first July weekend. So do head to the description and sign up. I teach you how to read tarot if you're new or you're a novice, how to do it without the book, and how to awaken your intuition so you can go use it in other areas of your life to really come back to yourself and prioritize yourself again and lead the way through your life with that beautiful intuition. So what do we got going on today? Well, it is a heat wave here in BC. You might be able to hear the fans off behind me, and I really struggled to film my monthly tarot reads because the room I usually use is so hot. It is above 30 in that room, and so I just could not, over the last few days, the last weekend when I would usually film those for you, it was just far too hot to sit down and do that many readings. And so those will be coming to you. They might be a little late, but that's okay. They'll probably roll out over the next week. You can watch for those. So what I thought I'd do today for you is do a, what does the summer hold? So I hesitate to say hot girl summer because it is so hot here. It is so hot. But we're just going to do like, what is your summer bringing to you? And it's just going to be a simple this or that, pick a pile. So go ahead and use your intuition here. I have my beautiful Dreamscapes deck here with my rose quartz, and I have my Celtic deck here. And you can just decide and really tune into that intuition, whether it's a visual intuition, a mental intuition, whether you notice your body move one way or another, or your gut, or maybe you even close your eyes right now and visualize which one stands out to you. Maybe you hear a little whisper inside which one's for you. So go ahead and do that now. So this is what is coming for summer. So think July and August all together. We're going to take a peek at your energies. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to see the kind of zodiac signs and qualities coming up for you during this time. And we're going to take a peek at maybe, what can lead you through the summer, some sort of mantra or reminder for you. So hopefully you have chosen. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's get started here. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and go check out the mastermind. Again, it is closing enrollment this weekend, and I do have a couple spots left. It's very close work with me. So if you have been thinking of doing tarot, we're going to start here, then I really, really encourage you to go check that out and sign up. Sign up quickly because it is closing, and there's some great stuff in there. So let's get started. Give that a little shuffle here. Now I'm going to pull a Dreamscape card first. Just wanted to get some energy on that deck to begin. This is the beautiful Dream Oracle Hero's Journey deck. I always always used this to guide me in lately into a reading. They are just so beautiful, and they just give a huge message that tends to show up throughout the whole reading. If you're a newbie, if you're learning tarot, if you are experimenting with your intuition, I absolutely love pulling an oracle card to begin any kind of bigger tarot spread. So a little tip for my tarot learners out there, it's a great way to guide you in it, especially when I don't have someone across the table from me. So we have be the bridge, expand your consciousness to behold both worlds. Ooh, I really see this energy here in this dreamscape deck. You can really see a little bit of a similarity happening here. And being the bridge is really about the idea of holding two things at once. The idea of natural paradox is happening in your life, where two things that seem opposite, or it seems like this won't equal that, actually do. And it's when you hold on to both truths, when you can hold the paradox in your mind and on your heart and really just live with it, that you really expand, because you're able to actually hold those two perspectives. And I just always love getting that card. So it looks like the summer for you is going to be maybe full of some contradictions. You might end up, sometimes this can be like feeling two very different things at once. Sometimes this is about having choice, and having that not be easy. Sometimes this is about surrender. I love this card for surrender, because we often think to get what we want, we need to really work hard for it. We need to hustle. And sometimes when we surrender the way things look, how it's going to go, it actually ends up moving us closer towards something we really wanted, or we end up loving the thing we got instead way more than what we had imagined in our head, what we had visualized. And so I just really love this card, because it means that this summer is about to really expand your horizons, possibly expand the people, the places, the things in your life. And it's going to be able to do that because you're going to be able to sit with paradox, because you're going to be able to bridge the two, because you're going to be able to hold on to two ideas that seem opposite, or two things that seem opposite at the same time. Really cool energy there. Now let's get into this spread. All right, so we've got the 8 of Cups here, and the Strength card, and the 9 of Swords. And underneath we have the 6 of Swords. Very interesting energy. I'm going to pull the rest of the spread here soon, if this is your spread. I love to focus in on these cards because these are so potently the most important cards about where you're at and the motivations happening. So what I'm really seeing right off the bat is some big movement. There's going to be a big letting go this summer for you. I think you're going to notice, and you might even be noticing already, that there is something you're ready to move away from. There's, something for you in your life that is actually good. It feels like you have everything you need. It feels like everything is kind of working, and yet you're still not finding this emotional fulfillment, this 8 of Cups. And I think what is happening is, like, you've created something you really enjoy, a life you enjoy, a situation, a relationship that in all terms, like, to everybody else it looks great, and even to you, you're like, well, it is great, and yet 8 of Cups has you going, but I think I'm done here. I think I've done what I can here. I see you maybe leaving a job. I'm not seeing too much work yet, but we'll pull the rest of the spread soon. It could be leaving a job. It could be leaving a relationship. It could be leaving behind old dreams for new ones. Cups is a really emotional fulfillment. And so it's just that idea that, it's not that what you have right now is bad. In a lot of cases, other people would love to have what you have. It's just that for whatever reason, it's not giving you that emotional fulfillment. You don't come home just overflowing from the energy of it. When I say come home, I mean to you, like come home to yourself. And so is asking yourself, where is that happening in my life? what looks good and yet I'm unfulfilled by it? Really asking that question. And again, could be a relationship, could be mindsets, could be work, could be a passion, could be a hobby, could be people, could be where you live, any of those things. What I see happening for you right now is the situation is really asking you to notice your ability to sit with things. The strength card here is one to just make you remember that you have inner strength here, that whatever you do, if you decide to move on, you will continue to be strong. That's an internal job. And it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. So on the outside, you might be worried right now about being judged. Maybe it's almost like someone's telling you you're being too sensitive here, even though inside you're really strong and you're actually doing the strong thing. And so really just watching for that. You might be getting caught up in what it looks like to others, or how strong you appear, or you're worried about how strong you will be, how you will be able to handle what happens if you leave this thing behind. And the opportunity, the situation here that's crossing is just a chance to grieve. I think, I know this is probably not what you're thinking for summer. You could still have a lot of great times this summer. This is just some sort of thing that's going to roll its way through your summer. So this doesn't mean every day is going to be you sitting around thinking about this. In fact, it shouldn't. The feminine principle of just allowing yourself to live with an idea if you need to, or following your own authority, however that looks for you. Think of your human design authority, just following that. So when I say grieve, don't imagine yourself crying every day through summer. That's not what this is. It's that in order to really move on, which we're going to talk about here, because Six of Swords is that you are going to be moved forward, and you are going to move on, and you're going to leave things behind, and with it you're going to be able to leave a lot of the emotions behind. And I think that's the grief here with the swords, Nine of Swords, Six of Swords here. But first there needs to be some grief, and so your opportunity this summer is going to be a little bit of a grieving process, a little bit of processing things, getting things out of you, moving through that grief, being soft with yourself. We often don't get through things until we feel them. And so just sitting with that grief, whenever we leave something behind, we're going to grieve just a little bit. And, we're going to have those moments, those emotional moments. But again, underneath it all, this is something you are moving on from. You are ready to move on. You're ready to move forward. And I think there's a little bit holding you back because you might not feel ready for it. You might not feel ready to kind of leave certain mindsets, certain ways of thinking behind. There's a little bit of egotism in this card because it's a little like, wow, but I thought I had all the answers. I thought I was right, because swords are our thoughts, our beliefs and things. And so with the Six of Swords, we're leaving them behind, and the ravens are on them, the tricksters. Your thoughts are tricking you, the way you've been thinking. And I don't say this to gaslight you, because I know you have discernment here. You really need to ask yourself if this is true for you. For some people, it may not feel this true. For some people, it won't feel true, but they're in a little bit of denial. That's a little bit of that ego coming up of, I'm going to hold on to the way I do things, the way I think about things, and no one can tell me differently. And I think that that's ego. I think that's closed living. And it's not that you have to take on other ideas, but to consider that the way you've been thinking has actually been tricking you into staying in things you don't want to stay in, headed in directions you don't want to be headed in, moving through things that are unfulfilling. And so allowing yourself to be that bridge, expanding, holding that you can be in a good thing and leave, that you can be strong and grieve, that you can trust yourself and what you're thinking and where you're headed, and your thoughts and your ego can be working against you. Notice all of these paradoxes happening for you this summer. So just watching and not making it wrong. if you are getting this, do not make the fact that two really opposing things are happening, or two opposing ideas are happening at the same time. Your job this summer is to be the bridge, to allow that sort of dynamic that both things can be true at the same time. So that's one of your biggest things. Let's take a look. Yeah, we have the Death card, huge transformation coming for you, and you know it. I really feel like you know it. Let's take a look at the rest here. 7 of Swords, lots of swords. 2 of Swords here. 7 of Wands. Oh, I thought that was another sword. 5 of Swords. The Star. Here we go. Okay. We've got the Magician and Temperance. Okay, this is a really, really, really interesting spread here because you have so much swords. You are so in your head. If you're getting this, you are moving through a summer where you're really dealing with your thoughts, the way you've been thinking. If you are an overthinker, if you analyze things, if you're always in your logic, you are about to get a little bit of an awakening, a little bit of a ego death here, a little bit of a thought death of, actually maybe there's other ways, because the last 3 cards are the major arcana cards here. And that tells me that this summer is all about getting out of your head and into your bigger power, and into the universe that's moving you, and into your healing, and into your creation, and into a more balanced approach to what your thoughts can give you, because your brain, your thoughts, they can actually really serve you. But not if you're stuck in them, not if you're choosing sides. You can't be absolute here with yourself about absolutely I'm in the right, or absolutely I'm in the wrong, or absolutely it's this way or that way. You cannot do that this summer. It is inviting you into something really beautiful. So looking at the past here and the external, I'm seeing the Star and the 2 of Swords. So the energy around you is a very Aquarian energy. So and we are kind of in that Aquarius energy a lot right now, thinking of the collective, thinking about healing. But Aquarian energy is also sometimes very heady. And it is somebody here, and this is external, so you might have a person around you that's like this, where this might just feel like it's in the energetic community around you. But it feels like this idea that deconstructing the way you think leads to healing. Aquarius is about doing away with things that aren't working for the way we connect with our community, the way we serve community, the way we're with community. And so I really think this might have a lot to do with your relationships here, because of the Star energy. Is how are you connecting with people? The 2 of Swords has this beautiful little heart hanging, and the 2 of Swords is all about protecting your heart. It's protection. You're not making a choice. And I feel like this is your whole past here, possibly year. This might just be a pattern for you that comes up, but it's in your past area. And I think that often you haven't made a decision to actually do something, or move into a different mindset, or surrender to something out of protection. I think you've been protecting your heart by using your head. And I don't think that's working, because you're calling in healing, you're calling in obstacles, you're calling in manipulation, you're calling in this idea that you need to leave this behind. And so this isn't working for you. Protecting your heart by overusing your head is not working. And again, I really think you know this because of the Death card here in your conscious area. I think that whatever, I think one, what needs to end. You know what you need to walk away from, you know what you need to move on from. But at the same time, I think maybe you realize this, maybe you don't. But there is an option here for a rebirth, a recreation of the self. And oh my God, is this ever for you? Like, is it ever for you? When I hold this card and I think about this spread, it's hard to articulate and verbalize the feeling I have racing through my guts. And maybe you don't like that. analogy, but that is how it feels, because it is a ember running its way along the inside of my body. Because fire burns and fire refreshes. And so whatever you're leaving behind, you're not just leaving it behind. You have left your old self behind. And you might be really trying to hold on, Six of Swords, to what you left. But you left for a reason. Yes, who you've been, how you've been has served you, but you are not fulfilled by that. You have not been fulfilled by the way you have done things in the past. And you are being asked to let it go, to recreate. You might find yourself, either you already are, or this summer you're going to find yourself in this moment where you're like, oh my goodness, I could reinvent myself today and be a brand new person today. And that's absolutely available to me, you know, and you can be whoever you want to be. Now, the Seven of Swords underneath tells me that you're really worried that this is going to come across really selfish. I think you're worried about what people are going to think. I think you're worried about, you know, it's like you're trying to do it on the down low here, and I don't really see that working out for you, because anytime we try to hide things, we're not being our fullest self. You know, we're not really bridging that gap between who we've been and where we're going, and our own expansion. The idea that you are going to expand out and shine, and you might lose people and have conflicts, though, that is two ideas that you can hold at the same time. And you get to be in whatever spaces you want to be with, because we have that behold both worlds. You can see the options of both. And the funny thing is, when we reinvent ourselves, we think we're going to have to leave all these spaces and these people, but that's not always true. And I think you're going to notice that you can actually be this new version of yourself in more spaces than you think. Okay, let's take some further looks here. We've got the Five of Swords here and the Seven of Wands. You just really something's coming for you this summer. And again, I'm thinking about people and relationships. You're really at this moment where you're taking on a lot of dialogue, a lot of conflicts with people. I see you talking a lot, but it feels conflicted. It might be with this Aquarius or somebody with this Aquarius energy, but the Five of Swords is just telling me that you've been too up in your head in how you're dealing with these kind of verbal things, and they're going to come up again. It's going to come up again. These obstacles are just going to keep repeating itself here in your future. That might be one of the things that begins to instigate more movement with you, is that you're going to start noticing that if you don't leave things behind, that you know, like you're repeating the same pattern over and over. You're taking on the same obstacles. You might take on obstacles anyways, even if you do shift and change. They're just going to be different ones. But again, I see you just, it's like you've been in self-protection around your heart, not wanting to make choices, really struggling to choose how to go, like how to do things, how to think, how to verbalize what you think. Seven of Wands is also protection here with these little cubs. You can see the fox with the cubs there. And it, again, it's that protection, like protection's a big thing for you. And I think what you're going to move into, if you can, is when you're protecting your inner self, you're protecting yourself from going through the same obstacles and the same cycle. Can you do that? So one is you could be repeating. The other one is you might finally divest from this Five of Swords, and I'm going to talk about that here in a second, and actually move into a space where you're protecting the new version of yourself. New obstacles might come up because you move into a space of reinvention, and then you're kind of dealing with obstacles from a brand new space. from a higher space, notice how this person is still, you know, they're kind of hiding in this space down here with their swords. This person is right out protecting against something. So the Two of Swords is there was nothing you needed protection from. And the Seven of Wands is yes, there is. And you are strong enough to be your protector against any obstacles, but doing it in a, it's like you're seen. It's like you finally get to a place where people see you. You're not afraid to show up and be seen. Look at this. Seven of Swords has, you know, the white swan at the top, and it's the idea of moving into a space where people will actually see you, and they'll see what you've become, and you might get a little bit of pushback here, but you're finally ready to be the protector that steps out into the open. Five of Swords here is to remind you that it is not your job to convince people to like you. Okay, Five of Swords is an energy of somebody who will do anything, say anything, think anything, change themselves, change their beliefs, do different things to get that approval out in the world, to look like the good person, to be nice, to be liked, you know, all that approval, belonging kind of idea, but doing so in a way that's really manipulative. You know, when we change who we are, when we are really careful and strategic here about, you know, how we present ourselves, we're often not presenting an authentic version of ourselves. We are presenting who we think we are, but people don't see who we think we are. They see us. Like, if you ask your friends about what qualities you have that are both, you know, holding you back and serving you, you will be very surprised what they see that you thought you were hiding. When it comes to like what's holding you back, people see you. You know, you can't see yourself. You're not watching yourself walk through your days the way other people are. And so the idea here is there is no faking it. There's no manipulating it. This might be something you're letting go here. When you do, this is what comes in. One, Death card, things will end. There's a reinvention coming. But you know what? So is creation. All this opportunity to create a more balanced person. Look at this. Temperance is an in-between card too. Temperance might as well be the bridge here. Be the bridge, expand your consciousness to behold both worlds. Temperance really does that. You can see her even looking into her globe there that has this mix of this, I love this because it's like fire energy with water energy, and so it's your spirit with your emotions. Look, Seven of Wands is spirit. You don't have any cups here, but you do have some star imagery there. And so I think you're just finally integrating your spirit with your emotions, and the outcome of all this is you're actually going to end up becoming a more balanced person. You're going to stop feeling so extreme about everything. Stop going to extremes to get people to approve you. And you're going to start walking away. You're going to start moving away and building that inner strength. The Magician is here to remind you, yes, the fact that you want to create something new for yourself is good. Go towards it. Do not fear it. You have that manifestation power to really reinvent yourself here. So if I'm going to say anything for you to kind of end this spread, then I would absolutely say it's all about reinvention. Okay, it's all about reinvention here. Allowing yourself to think about, you know, what's been in your head, the way you've been protecting yourself, the way you've been almost like intellectualizing who you are and how you come across, and just let that all go. Grieve that you learned to do that. And by grief, I mean also gratitude, right? Be grateful that you learned to do that. Be grateful that it got you here. Be grateful that it taught you how to protect yourself. Okay, but also grieve that that's not how you want to do things anymore. And realize that you can hold and be a lot of different things at once. Okay, just gonna see what's here in this beautiful deck for you to end you. Blessed, yes, you are moving towards a really blessed time. I really feel it with the Temperance, the Magician, the Star, lots of healing. So all you need to do is move forward out of this energy, and come fall. So once summer is done, that's when the Temperance starts to kick in. So watch yourself process, let yourself float towards it. Do not force this. You don't need to force this. All you have to do is let go of trying. So let go of trying it all. If it's like, if you're like dating, or you have a partner, or you have this huge career, this is like, stop struggling, stop forcing things, stop thinking that you can think your way towards some of this stuff, and just surrender. Surrender into your healing, surrender into holding all the pieces of yourself, and you're just going to naturally move towards this. Allow yourself to reinvent yourself. So beautiful. And really just manifest a new life. So watch this through the summer, and then watch the Temperance and that balanced energy come in through fall, winter this year. Okay, because this stuff, this energy is long reaching. All right, so that is it for you, group 1. Let's move on to group 2 here. All right, group 2, you are next here. Let's see what summer of 2021 is bringing to you. Again, just a reminder that my Beginner Intuition and Tarot Mastermind is enrolling just for another couple days, just for the weekend. So if you would like one of those seats, it's a very low enrollment. So you get to work very closely with me, you get a lot of my attention for 7 weeks to learn tarot. Or if you're just a novice who hasn't stopped using the book to read tarot, you want to learn how to read it intuitively and kind of turn your intuition back on, do join me. Head over to the description down below, the link's there. Sign up before it closes. All right, let's see what we have for you. The magic zone, the exhilaration of discombobulation. I absolutely love this card, because it just means that there are going to be things that kind of throw you off your center this summer. I love that. And the thing is, though, is that that's going to be exciting to you. I feel like there's a lot of things that are going to come up for you this summer. If you chose this deck for summer, where things are going to be thrown at you, but it's going to be exciting, it's going to be fun, it's going to be new, and you're going to be off balance, and you're going to enjoy it. And what comes from that is this magic, playful energy that gets you creating, that gets you seeing, like being in your aliveness is what comes out of this. And, you know, being back in your joy, being back in the things that really kind of light you up. And the things that kind of bring in the magic into your life. And by magic, I just mean in the ordinary, things just feel more. They feel more than ordinary, even though they are on the surface. Underneath, there is this juiciness, this aliveness to life. And I think just watching this summer for the things that kind of throw you off your course, that kind of unbalance you, that kind of not gets you confused, but just kind of like rocks your center a little bit. Because I think that is going to be the best thing for you. I think that is going to bring some really exciting, fun summer evenings is kind of the vibe I get from this. So just as a reminder, as I pull these, this is all about you. We will talk about your external energy, but just keeping this to you. So this could be something where, even if it's about relationships, we really just want to focus on your energy in the situation. That is how we keep coming back to ourselves, is, you know, we hold ourselves, and we let other people hold themselves and share themselves. Oh, that one didn't want to come up. Okay. So let's take a look here. Yeah, we've got the Queen of Wands right off the bat. She is pretty passionate. We've got the Queen of Cauldrons as well, and the Ace of Wands. Wow, this is an amazing spread. And the Hanged Man. I absolutely love that. Let's move this deck here. All right. We're going to pull the rest soon, but let's talk about this, because you've got 2 Queens and an Ace of Wands. Talk about an inspirational summer. You just love this Queen of Wands is you right now. Don't even talk to me about what this throne looks like. But let's talk a little bit about hot girl summer, am I right? All right, so Queen of Wands, so this is you in your passion. Wands is your spirit, and so I think you're going to move into a time this summer where you are feeling so spirited. You are led by that spirit within. You're led by that magic part of you, that soul essence part of you that's excited about life, that wants to move through life. And you're kind of like, because you are fully in appreciation of your spirit here, you're actually going to feel more balanced. We have the kind of like the desert and the snow here, and it's just this idea that when you are in deep appreciation of your soul, of your essence, of the thing that makes you magic, of the things that make you excited and kind of like make you sway your hips a little bit, makes you feel connected to the world in a way that is almost otherworldly. That is when you're in deep appreciation of your sensual side, of your spirited side, and embracing that. I see you really being the Queen of Wands this summer, so go look her up. Let her be your guide this summer. Put her on your altar. Print a picture. Make it your phone screen. You can look up on Pinterest different Queens of Wands, whatever one speaks to you. Put her out there. This is you this summer, in your magic, in your spirit. I love it. The situation this summer, you're going to be you're going to be integrating this Queen of Cauldrons. And I think that's the discombobulation here. This is really interesting energy here with this card, because we have all this kind of fire and reds and yellows, this bright Queen of Wands, and then we have all these blues, this nighttime, almost this wave and these bubbles around her, and really thinking of the Queen of Cauldrons. And it's like this summer is an opportunity to merge the two for you. They're going to be coming in unison here. Queen of Cauldrons. Oh, excuse me. Queen of Cauldrons here. She is in deep appreciation of what her emotional landscape can be like. She is the feminine flow of our unconscious, of our emotion, of our intuition. She holds it out. She is in deep, again, the queens are all about appreciating the suit they're in, really knowing their wisdom and just sitting in that deep appreciative contemplation space. And so Queen of Cauldrons here is offering up emotions from a space of being in flow, of really appreciating what having a relationship with your emotional landscape is like. And so if you're getting this spread and you're talking about this spread, this is really a beautiful time for you to, one, appreciate your spiritedness, your excitement, that drive that you have, that spirituality that you might have or be beginning to have, and really begin to integrate it with this emotional landscape, inviting a situation. There might be a situation where all of a sudden your emotions are being asked to come forward. Your emotional landscape and the way you deal with it is coming forward, and it's actually bringing in a time where you are learning to appreciate your emotions and not run from them, because the Queen of Wands, the whole wand suit is about movement and running and action. It's that very masculine, and Queen is that very feminine and flowing and being in the emotions. Wands can sometimes be running away from them, and so it's like you're integrating these two parts of yourself. And when you do, it's going to feel a little like, whoa, weird. It's going to feel really discombobulating, and it's going to feel really exciting, I think, to you. I think it's going to bring new inspiration here with the Ace of Wands. We're going to pull some more here. Of course, these are the most potent cards that I like to read at first. Excuse me, hiccup. I always hiccup when I do tarot reads. So what this is going to do is it's going to bring in new inspiration for you, this Ace of Wands. You're going to be inspired into something. I see that happening because you're finally moving from a space of doing and action and, really that spirited, like, it's like waiting for the world to move your spirit. and you're going to start bringing in your emotional landscape into that, all of a sudden, boom, you're just inspired. You're feeling the magic happen. You're seeing new ideas, new possibilities, and you're manifesting new things, new ideas. It's the seed of it, right? Like, you might not see these things come to fruition this summer, but it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. You know, this thing that I love, this inspiration, this passion that I have got to start moving on this. And that has something to do with integrating your emotions into the situation, letting it bring you some unbalance, some like, sometimes we need to be a little shook, right, in order to get us to move that way. The Hanged Man is here to remind you, underneath it all, you are being asked to surrender. This is the biggest situation for you, is this will happen if you let it, if you let go. You know, think of yourself as someone who is swimming versus someone who is floating. When you're floating, you're moving towards something, like, things will move, but it's effortless. And so the Hanged Man is really asking you to forfeit and give up the way you used to see things, the way you used to do things, the effort, the urgency, the action that you have been trying, even if that action is just in your head. You know, often we're not necessarily doing anything, but our head is going a mile a minute, right? And we need to surrender that. We need to give up the thinking. We need to somehow, you know, turn our thoughts upside down and let them go. So that is what's going to bring you this. You need to surrender to this process here. That might feel hard for you. That might feel hard for you if you're used to being the Queen of Wands, and now you're being asked to be the Queen of Cauldrons. You might, you know, the Queen of Cauldrons is not afraid of her emotions at all. She is fully in them. You know, so we think water signs very emotional, right? But not if we can't be in our emotions. Okay, let's take a look. 9 of Swords also came up in the other spread, so that's really interesting energy here. We also have this 3 of Swords, which we'll talk about. Equilibrium, which is our Temperance Sagittarius energy here in your past. Just very interesting energy here. I'll talk about it. 3 of Wands in your future, 10 of Wands in what you need to know. Ace of Wands coming in this corner, external. We've got the Star Aquarius energy as well, and a Page of Cauldrons. This is really interesting because the last spread also had the Star and Temperance, so there's this real Sagittarius Aquarius energy happening here over the summer for both groups, and some of it's in your past, some of it's moving at the last spread they were moving into a Temperance Sagittarius type energy. You are kind of moving beyond it. I feel like in your past here, you've been trying to, you know, not let yourself go to extremes here. Sagittarius is sometimes always trying to find the middle ground, but sometimes that works against them because I'm a Sagittarius. So I have a little bit of this experience of when finding the middle ground is this really beautiful thing that serves me, and when finding the middle ground is actually not. And sometimes it's when it has to do with who we are, you know, sometimes we can be afraid to go all in, and go all in for that thing we want. And we've kind of been playing a balance, and this doesn't have to be a negative thing either. You have been looking at the things that fulfill you, looking at how you've been going to extremes. You've been looking at it. I feel like you've just been looking at it, because I'm not seeing a lot of action here in the past. And however, I think that's serving you now. I think your ability to observe, gain your wisdom, learn, kind of like take little movements here and there. You might feel like you haven't actually accomplished a lot, but I think you've learned a lot. And that Sag energy is, you know, we might not have accomplished a lot in the world, but we have learned a heck of a lot along the way. I think right now, though, you're really dealing with matters of the heart. Really seeing you, really seeing you grieve here, really seeing you overthink in your anxiety around romance, partnership, your heart here with the 3 of Swords. I think deep down there's just some things on your heart are blocking you. You know, this might be the thing that you need to come to appreciation around, and that you need to surrender into, is the idea that, you know, you're being kept up at night, and you're probably being kept up at night by the idea of love, new love, or new versions of love coming up for you, because deep down what's happening, this is so interesting, because this is so beautiful, and then like it's like your outside world is not quite a reflection of your inside world here, which is really interesting energy. Maybe that's being asked to recalibrate with that discombobulation of how do we let our emotions become part of our landscape and accept it, surrender to it here. I think that might be what's coming up for you, and I can see why, if you've been holding back, you know, thinking about the agony of what goes on inside your own head here, really led by the heart here. You know, all your thoughts, I think, are being really driven by a broken heart, by love gone wrong, by connection gone wrong, belonging gone wrong, and I hate using the word wrong, but it's just gone painful. And so things being really painful, it's really coloring your internal world. And I can see why you haven't been surrendering, but I think allowing yourself to be off balanced is going to be the best thing for you here. Equilibrium, right? In the past, you've always tried to have it together. You've always tried to have it together. You've always tried to keep that balance. And now is the time to allow that balance to go, right? Join the teeter-totter of the rest of the world in our emotions here. Don't worry about being balanced anymore. Let yourself be off balance, I think is the biggest advice right here coming through in this current situation, because this needs to be healed, right? The star, your hopes and your fear, I think you really want this to heal. I think you really do. And I think sometimes you're faking it till you make it. Faking it is not doing the inner work we need to do. We need to let ourselves move through discomfort, sit in our emotions here. That's when the new sparks come in. That's when the new stuff comes in. These new inspirations, these aha moments. I think you're going to learn a lot this summer about yourself and about your own healing. The star is also in the fear section, meaning, you know, you've been putting it off. You know, you've been in fear. It's a little bit like, who will I become and who will be in my life, and all those questions, right? Nine of Swords is just a lot in our head, and I think you just need to take action, to be honest, into your emotions in some way, into healing your emotions. Sitting here, while we need moments of grief, when you need some true healing, you need to go for it here. What I am seeing, I think the thing is, externally, there's so many options for love for you. So many options. This is deep into your belonging and sense of connection into the world this summer, into your love life here. Ace of Cauldrons, so much new love. If you already have a partner, this is the idea that you could almost refresh your love, right? Like you go through those stages where you almost fall in love with your partner again from like a brand new place. But this is also very external to dating and partnership and romance as well. Just new connections in general. And so what I'm really seeing here is that there are people around you and there are options around you for brand new connections that are more fulfilling, that, you know, really fill up that cup, that emotional fulfillment. The star here, that's healing. You know, the pouring over of cups, that's a healing thing. We can see so much symmetry in the Ace of Cauldrons with the star, because the Aquarius energy here that you hope and fear for is, you know, it's about giving back to the community. It's about serving the whole. It's about everybody getting what they need. And I think there are connections around you that are possible here for you getting what you need emotionally from people. And obviously it's an inside job first, but that just that sense of belonging, that sense of connection and acceptance is there. It's possible. You just need to deal with this first here. And the biggest thing here, Ten of Wands, is that you're almost there. I feel like you've been carrying so much. Whew, you have been carrying so much. And this is why the Hanged Man comes up. Because at some point when you get to the end, you need to surrender all of the things that have been weighing down your spirit, and you need to give them over, and you need to kind of become your own martyr. You know, you might have been becoming a martyr for other people a lot, in order to keep the balance. And this is about being your own martyr, surrendering your own burdens up and out, and allowing yourself to experience that freedom from them. And I feel like you're getting there. I think you're getting to the end of that road where you're actually ready to heal. You're ready to put down a lot of what's been in your head, what's been weighing down your spirit. And I see you through the summer. As you move through this, you are just kind of like sitting here waiting. I think Three of Wands is manifesting, but it's also the idea of, I have sent out, I have done what I can do, and now I'm watching whatever return to me. I'm watching these things come in. I'm waiting for that, you know, whatever comes from this. And that always pairs beautifully here with the Hanged Man, because it is the idea of, he's not going out to chase the world. He is in full knowledge of surrender, that it will come back to him. And so I think through the summer, we are doing our healing work here. We're surrendering over. And then by the end of summer here, we are kind of sitting in the space where you're like, okay, world, I've been doing my healing. I've surrendered. I don't feel that urgency and that push and that spirit to move and always be balanced. I've integrated my emotions, and I'm just going to sit here and wait for what the world brings from this wisdom, and wait for what the world brings from this action, and see where that takes me. And I love that energy for you to end the summer, of just that beautiful, like looking out over the horizon and just waiting for whatever shows up to show up for you. What this is bringing forward for you over the next while, this whole outcome is allowing you to really look at your emotions. You're going to finally feel like you're learning how to do that. And this is going to start coming through the fall and winter as you deal with this Queen of Cauldrons that comes up, possibly big situations, right? Queen versus Page, big situation. You need to be able to appreciate your emotions, be in your emotions around to heal. But it's guiding you back. It's almost guiding you back to a more innocent space come fall, winter, where you can just begin looking at your emotions, be curious about them, not let them weigh you down here, like the Ten of Wands, and start to trust them. You know, the Page of Cauldrons is all about her sense of trust in what shows up in her unconscious and in her emotions, and I see that happening for you. Again, I think a lot of this is going to come through your connection with people here, Ace of Cauldrons. So watching how this is all instigated in your relationships, your dating life, your family. Move towards healing and let down the burdens. You really need to surrender to the discomfort, to being thrown off your center. Let yourself be thrown. When you have moments this summer where you're like, if I do this, or if I do that, or if I don't do this or don't do that, or if I let myself feel, or if I don't let, you know, all those kind of questions that you're in your head about, whenever you're set with that opportunity, I want you to think discombobulation. Let myself be off center here. Let myself be off center. Let myself not have balance here. And let myself be thrown off a little bit, because that's when the magic's going to come in. That's when the healing's coming in. That's when the self-trust comes in. And that's when the new connections come in. This is a beautiful summer, and I see you doing things maybe you've never done before, letting yourself do things you've never done before, and I see that bringing you so much, preparing you so much for something new, a whole new emotional landscape here. All right, let's just pull one of these cards for you to end. here. What a beautiful reading, and I hope this served you while I am beating the heat wave here in BC, Canada. Again, when it cools off, I will do my monthly readings for you for every zodiac sign, sun and rising sign. So you just have to wait a little bit. I'm much better in my readings when I'm not sweating bullets here. So thank you for your patience. And again, the mastermind starts so soon. If you want to learn tarot, if you want to turn your intuition on, and you want to do so in a smaller classroom setting, do please join up. The descriptions in the description box, or the link is in the description box down below. I think you only have about 2 more days to sign up, so get over there now if you'd like. Round and round. Yeah, I really see this. Again, this is about spiraling upwards. You're going to go through a lot, you're going to feel things, but when you come out of it, you're going to look down and realize how much into your higher self you've become. So let yourself be off balance, let yourself spiral. Let yourself spiral. Do it. It's for your greatest good here, emotionally. It's going to bring in a lot of healing. So, all right, I'm going to leave you with that. And that is the end here. Again, please like, share, subscribe. I'm new around here. That really helps me out. And watch for those. Go sign up for the Beginner Intuitive Tarot Masterclass or Mastermind, 7 weeks. Or order a reading. You can do that too. All right, enjoy your summer, and see you next time. Bye.